All right, what's up, everybody? My name's Crystal. I'm with PcolaPodcasters. Nick will be joining us shortly. We have an exciting episode for you today. Yes, we do. We are about to actually interview Murv Douglas of Powerman5000. He's also been involved in several other projects, by the way. Um, awesome bassist. I was actually just checking out some of his stuff before this interview, and if you have any questions for him, make sure you're putting them in the comments. Make sure you're doing all that because he's about to be on here and talking to you. So here we go. Let's pull him on. Murv Douglas and myself. Let's get us both on there. Well, this is fun. It's doing the thing again. All right, let's try this out one more time. There we go. Had to click the buttons. How are you, Murv?
I'm okay. I've been I've been sick. I've been busy. Um, I haven't had a whole lot of days off, so I'm like
Yeah.
tired. I'm kind of tired.
Oh, I
Um,
absolutely get it. Well, I really appreciate you coming on here and still doing this with us because I've been a big fan of Powerman5000 since I was in like ninth grade, maybe even sixth
right
grade.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So it was really cool whenever I came across your profile and I was like, oh my gosh, this dude's in Powerman5000 now, and he's done stuff with Lords of Acid and Kidney Thieves, and these are all bands that I loved in the 2000s, and still do. I just saw you, and now I've been looking at all these videos, and I saw that your bass techniques and all that. You're a Schecter artist. You have clear tone strings. Tell me a little bit about what got you started in music in general, just in period.
What got me started? Mostly I wanted to I wanted to do it the right way as opposed to everything out there seemed to be not quite right. Like
Right.
stuff I was listening to, it's like that's good, but they sort of messed up on that. Like I'm criticizing Nirvana, like huge, right? Like it's good, but they kind of missed the point there. And so when I do my song, I'm gonna fix it. So um, I didn't have a computer. I didn't even for a while. I didn't even have. I don't know if back in the day there was like 4 tracks. I just had a karaoke machine with two cassette tapes in it, and so I'd record a. I had a guitar. I was a guitar player. I wasn't a bass player. And so I would record a guitar and be like, ah, that's cool. Let me record a vocal. Let me try to sing something. So I'm like, okay, I could take the one tape that had the guitar on it and then record it to the other tape while I was singing the vocal. It's like a bounce down,
Oh,
right? I don't know.
yeah.
I'm not going to presume anybody know what a bounce is. So hopefully I'm not insulting your intelligence by explaining all this.
No,
But
no,
like,
it makes
and then
sense.
I would
Like,
be like, oh, I take that tape with the vocal and the guitar. And what else? I can add I have a drum machine. So I did that, and then I'm like, it needs bass. So I went and saved up my money when I was like 12, for like months, and then I went to a pawn shop and got a bass. And then so eventually I kept bouncing the tape down until I could finish the recording. And then
mhm.
I'm like, okay, that's what the song is supposed to sound like. And it was of course limited to like my limited understanding of what a song should be. So the lyrics were terrible and the song was terrible. But the one thing I was focusing on, maybe the lyric, or maybe the rhythm between the kick drum and the bass guitar, or the snare and some relationship in the instruments, I had done the way I wanted, right? So I'm like, I
Right.
know what I'm doing now. I'm a professional. And so I got into a band as a guitar player, and I kind of understood at that point, how a song is constructed because I'd been recording myself. And I
Right.
knew like, okay, this is what it actually takes to lock in with the drummer. This is what it actually takes for the song to be cohesive and not get boring after 3 minutes or 3 seconds or whatever it was. And so I was on guitar. There was another guitar player. There's a singer and a drummer and a bass player. And the bass
Right.
player wasn't doing it right, according to me, right? And according to everyone else, yeah, she just wasn't very good, I guess. I don't know. No one really liked what she was doing. But I was like, I know exactly what you're doing wrong. Let me show you. And I would show,
Put
here's
it
what you
on
need to play
this.
instead. And
Yeah.
so the next day at rehearsal, she was fired.
Right.
And they told me I had to play bass. And I whined a little bit. I'm like, no, I'm a guitar player. And then I thought, I don't care. I'll play the bass. I understand that we're not going to find anyone that is like going to do it the way I want it done, you know? So, I realized right away, like, I'm the only person thinking what I was thinking. So I'll just do it and get it so I'm not gonna trust anybody anyway. So I'll just play the bass. Hi, how's it going? Good to see you.
How's it going, Murv?
Where did you just come from work?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, did you have a long
And
drive?
yeah, traffic sucks.
Yeah.
I don't abide by
Yeah.
tardiness, my friend. No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
Look, I came in, the door was locked. I'm like, is this the punishment I get?
Yes.
You
yes.
locked him out?
I
You
didn't
locked...
mean to. There's people in there. I mean.
Oh my God! You can't do that to your friends.
Oh yeah.
No mistakes allowed.
Well, what's worse is this is my boyfriend. So.
Oh wow! So is this
So
the
I'm
1st time
doing-
you've made that mistake?
No, it's not.
No,
You
Sometimes
have
not,
like a
and
habit
won't
of
be
just
the
locking
last
them
sometimes I
out.
lock them out on purpose, and I'll admit it. But I'm just kidding. But yeah, this is Nick. Everybody, welcome back. Welcome to the episode. Anyway.
Yeah.
But he was just telling us about how he got started in music and how he had like a karaoke machine, and he was he went through this whole spiel. It's insane how he got started because look, I'm a karaoke host actually.
So you know what that means to bounce from one tape to the next.
Yes, I do. And so as a karaoke host, I was like, he's speaking my language, like right off rip, right off rip. So you started doing that, and you formed a band, and you got all the people together, and Nick came in all crazy. So
my bad.
sorry.
Well, that was sort of the end of the story. That was like they decided to just have me play bass. And
Right.
like I didn't have any choice, and I was like, no, I'm a guitar player. I'm the lead guitar player. And I was really bummed that I wouldn't be able to play guitar.
Yeah.
And then I realized no one's going to play bass to my satisfaction, the way I know how to play it according to me and my karaoke machine. So I'll just maintain that control freaky mindset and decide I'm going to play the bass and get it right. And there'll just be one guitar player in the band, and that's fine. That even though my dreams are of originally doing it that way are now shattered, and I never was able to get back to doing that dream ever. I really feel like I missed my chance. Am I loud enough right now?
Oh yeah.
I think so. Can y'all hear
Okay.
us? Can you hear him in the chat and everything?
Because I have volume control here. I can just crank it if you want.
Oh yeah.
Jeremy, I see you're watching. Can you hear everybody?
Yeah. We've got some people in there. But to continue on with that, whenever you branched out from that band, how did you get involved in like all the things that you got involved in? Because there's like a gap between that. Like you played bass, that's how you first got started with bass, but whenever I saw you, you had like techniques, like you do like the slap a lot. I saw, and you made all these different sounds that I'm not familiar with too many bass players in our area doing. So I was
Really
impressed, like he plays guitar and bass, but like he doesn't get all like slap funky.
I
You know what I
can,
mean?
I
You
can,
can't-
but the things that I've played in, they don't like me to slap.
Well, yeah, so he's like doing cover
Yeah.
band stuff. So a lot
That's
of those
tough,
things-
man. That's
Yeah.
tough when they won't let you do what you know you can do, and you feel
Oh,
like,
no.
well, why'd you get a bass player at my caliber if you didn't need it, But they can't find another one. That's why they got you.
Well, see, I mean, yeah. I mean, if you really want to know. Actually, what's funny is you can see on the comments, you see Jeremy. He was actually the one I took over the bass from. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all his fault. So, but
normally is.
See, all these bass players kind of have all a similar story. We all got involved, roped in one way or the other, and now we're stuck with it.
The bass they feel like.
Well, actually, I started on bass first
It's not a
because
demotion.
me and a bunch of my friends, we were starting a Metallica tribute band.
Yeah.
So, and I'm like, okay, I want to do something, and I was just learning all the instruments, and they're like, well, we got everything. You be bass. I'm like, I like Cliff Burton.
Yeah.
So-
Why not?
Yeah.
But now you've made something of yourself with it, from starting with a karaoke machine and making weird noises for a complete band yourself.
Right.
So you play other instruments by chance other than guitar and bass, or?
No, I do a lot of singing. I do a lot of producing and recording. I do a lot of MIDI programming, keyboard sounds, I
Right.
do a lot of drum programming. I really, really love mixing recordings. I really love production and mixing. I like getting things like you have this raw recording that doesn't sound anything but like cardboard, right? But then you can take it and create a sonic space. You can pan things left and right, and you realize, oh, I just recorded the same guitar left and right with the same guitar and the same amp and the same distortion pedal, and that's why it doesn't sound very big and wide, even though I panned them left and right. So I need a
Yeah.
different guitar and a different amp and a different distortion, maybe some modulation and maybe some delay to make it sound way different over here. This thing over here is sounding different than that thing. Now it sounds bigger. So I love exploring the sonic space
Fills
like
the
that,
space.
That
Yeah.
stuff
there's
that-
left and right. Then there's
fun.
front and back. What makes things sound further away is reverb, delay. So it's like, well, how far away should this thing sound? Should this guy sound like he's standing behind the drummer or in front of the drummer? I love that kind of creative. Once everything's recorded, I love like placing things in the sonic, so in this 3D space now, as opposed to, making things sound. Sometimes you're like, oh, how much you sounds like you put reverb on those drums. Like the reverb's on the vocals. So you're just hearing reverb and assuming they're coming from the drums. So I love fooling the ear into thinking that something's happening that really isn't. It's a fun
Right.
it's a fun thing to do.
Yeah, but the question that I have to do with this is, whenever you were exploring those things, how long did it take for you to figure those things out? Like, did you have somebody showing you the balance? Did you have somebody showing you how it did that, or were you just cranking and playing?
A lot of both. I did definitely seek out as many. Like I never took any classes or paid for anything, which is what I probably should have done. Probably should have gone to college for audio engineering. I would have been much happier doing that. But like, I would always ask people like, how do you get this sound? How do you get? And it's always like, it's really about the questions you ask, because I would ask questions that didn't lead to the answers that I was actually looking for. I was like, how do you get, the kick and the kick drum, like in rock music? Do you remember in the 80s and 90s how the kick drum and the bass guitar would be inevitably swallowed up by the big giant guitar sound, and the big giant snare sound? And I'm like, I always hated that. I thought that was the lamest thing. I would put like literally my bass guitar amp in my trunk and hook it up to my sound system in the car and have it crank out greater amounts of low end so that I could hear the kick drum, so that I could hear the bass guitar. And half the time it wasn't very good because they just weren't in the mix. And now, that's an old school way of mixing. Like, they used to be like way back in the day, like Black Sabbath era. The kick drum was like a tick tick tick, like a lower mid-range frequency sound, and then the bass guitar was like everything down to the floor. And that's what that old sound is, right? Now it's reversed. Now the kick drum carries all of the super duper low woofy end, and the bass guitar is like a kind of like a fat guitar, like a not muffled, not carrying those low muffly frequencies. Of course, everyone mixes how they mix. So
It carries like the low mids and like the upper bass, while the kick is everything that takes the low part of the rumble. So,
Right.
And you just described modern mixing. That's not like pre-1990. That's not how they did things. And so that's why recordings sound so different now, and they sound slick now, and people are fine with it sounding fake now, because those fake sounds fill out those frequencies much nicer than real instruments do.
Right. So if you had an opportunity to go to any audio engineering schooling or anything, or going through all that, do you have like somewhere that you would like to go?
I have no idea. I never researched it. I never knew where to go, where to start my looking. And now that I've done so much on my own, like I feel like I'm a pretty good mixing engineer now, but who knows? Maybe I'm still garbage, and maybe that's why I don't do that for a living on a daily basis. It's more like every once in a while I get hired. But like, I don't know where I'd even start. I'd probably go and volunteer at, I lived in San Fernando Valley growing up. I lived on I don't know if you know where you guys wouldn't know this. There's a Budweiser brew factory. Anyone who knows Southern California, Los Angeles, for San Fernando Valley area knows the Budweiser brewery is off the 405 freeway on Roscoe. And right on that, there's a street called Langdon and Roscoe, right? Langdon runs north and south. And Langdon was like the worst street in America when I was growing up. It was when gangs were a big deal and gang shootings happened all the time. And if it didn't happen in down, like South Central LA, it happened on my street. So I'd go, my mom would take us to karate practice, me and my brother and my sister, and we'd come back home, and we couldn't go to our home because our particular block somebody was shooting a gun, so we couldn't go home. So we had to go to Denny's and have dinner or something and wait till the things passed. So one time there was someone shooting a gun in our apartment building. That was scary. We had to like hide in the hallway and stuff. There's police kicking down doors and stuff. But like, so that was like the worst street in America. On a side note. On a more fun note, down the street, like I lived on the north side of Roscoe. If you continue down Langdon on the south side of Roscoe, you pass Denny's, you pass, what is it, El Del Taco? I forget. Or no, Burger King. You keep going down the street, and there was like Eric's guitar shop, or Eric's, guitars, which is, he was like a guy who, I think he sold guitars, but he was more a guy you take your guitar to have it set up and strings replaced. And the Eric's guitar shop is moved down the street from there. It's still there though. It's really famous guitar shop, and he was always like, "How do you want it to feel?" And I would just say, "Make it feel like butter," and he would, Yeah. And so right next to Eric's guitar shop was Sound City Studios, I think it was called, or City Sound Studios, Sound City. I forget. It's a real famous one that Dave Grohl made a documentary about. Yeah, and so of course Nirvana recorded in there, right? And all kinds of bands recorded in there. I found out right about the time Nirvana was recording Nevermind. I might have been, I don't know, 13. I don't know how old I was. I could have walked down the street from my own house, knocked on the door, and said, "Hey, could you guys need a runner to deliver coffee and stuff?" And I could have been delivering coffee for Nirvana.
That's so nuts. That is insane. See, I worked in radio for 5 years, but I had a dream to do it since I was 7. And whenever I did that, I went to TK 101, which is like our big rock station, and I knocked on the door at 14 years old because I looked up online that I could work in radio as young as 14 years old, and with a work permit and permission from my parents, of course. And I went there and I talked to the program director, and I said, "I'll do anything. I'll be your runner." Exactly what you just said. So it just like rang a bell. It felt like we have some similarities as far as similar stories as far as that goes. So
well, I didn't actually do that.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I
could have if I'd have known.
But you thought of doing that, you didn't think of doing that at the time.
I didn't know to do that. I didn't even know that Sound City Studios was down the street. I found out years later, and that's so. But that's what I would have done. If you're asking me like where would I have gone to like study or whatever, I would have gone and volunteered at a studio to learn more. I wish I had. I had the opportunity. I didn't know that I had.
That's so.
So it's really cool that you did it. You went and did it the right way.
Well, I did it at a radio station, so I didn't get a lot of what I would get for mixing and mastering and stuff. You know what I mean? Like I got, okay, you slide this one up, you hit this button to go on air, and this is the timer.
But you still learned a process of what goes on.
Oh
too.
yeah. That's where I got my interest in stuff like this. So it's really cool that you say that they had that down the street. So you were living in Fresno on this criminal street, and then you walk down the street. And
you lived in Fresno?
No, I'm saying that's where you were living. So you're saying you lived in Fresno.
I've never lived in Fresno, but I lived in the San Fernando Valley.
San Fernando Valley. Sorry about that.
Fresno's very far away.
Sorry,
Fresno's like 6 hours away.
Sorry, we're Florida people.
We're Florida people. We're on the other side.
Oh, it's okay. I understand.
But San Fernando Valley, and that's nuts. That's so nuts. But if you had walked down the street, would your parents have let you go down there and volunteer with it being such a bad area?
I have a feeling I could have just done it. Yeah, I had a bike. I could have ridden my bike down the street. I have a feeling that I could have just done it.
Yeah, probably would.
Because it's like, as much as like we would come home every night or every week or every month or whatever it was, and there was someone shooting a gun, I still was able to go out and play, And
right.
I feel like I'm not the dumbest person in the world. My parents aren't the dumbest people in the world. I think they trusted me to be smart about things. I never saw anybody doing anything wrong. I never saw so much as a drug deal go down, because either maybe it was happening and I didn't recognize it, or maybe it was hidden enough to where I wouldn't see it. I don't know. But like, so it wasn't so dangerous where the danger would just jump out and grab you, don't leave your house. It wasn't like that. It was just like, I can't go home tonight.
It's just a rough area.
Because the police say you can't go home tonight. And that's all that I saw, I saw the blockades.
Yeah, it's still pretty crazy to me. But if you have the opportunity now, like what's stopping you now other than your busy schedule? Is there anything else stopping you other than your busy schedule to do audio engineering?
No. No,
So
absolutely not. As a matter of fact, during COVID, when I actually had a year plus to do whatever I wanted, I recorded 2 albums, and I did release like 6 or 7 music videos or more because I was on other people's music videos too. So I did all the stuff that I wanted to do with myself that totally was highly involved in like audio recording and mixing and video production and all that stuff, you know?
That's super cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I saw some of your music videos that you did actually. There was one you released 10 months ago.
It was
DJ.
there's a few.
Well, it was like it was not what I would have expected from you. I'm trying to remember what it was.
Do you remember what kind of things were happening in the video?
Yeah, I watched a lot of videos actually. So
because there's one with the sock monkey. There's one where we did like an end credit sequence where it's all black light. There's another one where we had like a time travel device, and I was like the time god.
That might be the one I'm thinking of because it was
like
there was like a record spinning on one. And
oh, that's another one where I was dancing.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's. I watched so many. I really did. Like I kind of nerded out on it because I was like, let me check out his channel. And you've done stuff. You know, you did like the Schecter stuff, and you talked with the guy from Clear Tone about pop music and Bruno Mars.
Yep.
I saw that, and I actually really liked that interview because we've had this conversation before. Pop music, a lot of people are like, oh, it's redundant and it's trash these days, but there's still good value within that music. You can still appreciate things about the music even if you don't like that genre. So it was just really interesting to hear your take on it.
You know what was tough about that was like me and that guy sat down and planned. Like you and I didn't plan anything. I kind of wish we had. It might have been fun, you and I, but like he and I sat down and I was like, dude, I want to do this thing, something on Instagram or YouTube, you know, let's like put together something that's like interesting. And by interesting, I mean like I'm the bad guy saying things that you are going to. You set him up, I'll set him up, you knock him down. Like I'll say some crappy thing about the music industry, and you got to come over the top and give me a spanking. You got to whack me because like I'm trying to be the bad guy, so you can show up and be the good guy, right? And I was like, and I like doing. I wish you and I had planned out something like that because I like saying garbage things, like you know, musicians perform better when you don't pay them because they're under duress, and heaven forbid you have feelings when you're making music and performing. You're supposed to have feelings. You're supposed to write songs about tragedy, and you're supposed to overcome in the song, you know. But if you don't have that in the song, then you don't have a song. What good is a song if it's all, you know, vanilla and cream, you know? Like you have to have like before you can say baby I love you, you got to say but a minute ago I was having trouble paying rent and the lights are off and life sucks and everybody just died and blah blah blah, but baby, you know I love you. You know, like you can't have a payoff if you don't have a setup. So I was trying to say things like you know, I was trying to say things like musicians work better under duress, work better when you don't pay him enough, and music is better, and the end result is better, and you know. And he was supposed to come back and say, no, dude, you got to pay musicians, don't be a jerk. But he never did. He just kind of agreed with me. I'm like, dude, I know I'm making a strong point, but I was specifically trying to be the bad guy, and you're specifically supposed to be the good guy, and I've invited you to the dark side, and you came. Come on, bro. You know, like
yeah. It's like, and you're not pushing back on this, and this is not the plan. Oh my god, and you're on video, and it's
it was it was supposed to be a similar dynamic as described as in the interview. I'm the negative. I'm the dark. You know, just like in a song, there's the negative and the dark, and then you come in, you save it with the hook, like, but baby, I love you. But so he was supposed to do that. You know, I'm going to be the negative. I'll be the dark one. I'll be the one that says the things that you don't want to say. No problem. But I can't. And I've been trying to find people like that for a long time. Like, dude, come and be the good guy, and I'll be the bad guy. Let's get into an argument. Let's force some conflict so that it's something interesting, you know, rather than just everyone agreeing on everything. Which, you know, if you think about it, everyone agreeing on everything, while it's nice, never solves any problems. You know, like if you and I agree on everything, that means whatever problems exist didn't just get solved. Now, if you and I disagree, we'll have to come to some sort of understanding and then solve a problem within that. So disagreement is freaking great. It's like the answer to the world, but no one wants to disagree. Everyone wants to be the good guy. And like,
it creates regression when you do that. Like everybody just like, they may just tell you that you're right to not
See, even
have a
you're doing it.
conflict.
You're agreeing with me right now without giving me any pushback. And that's like our natural pre-programmed, politically correct thing to do. Even you just fell for it right this second in real time. I made you agree with me. Why don't you have anything to say other than what I have to say? You know what I mean? Are you just trying to be nice?
Right.
Answer me.
Well,
Not right. Answer me.
Well, I mean, I did agree with you there, but that's because I've been saying this for, all
a
my
long
life
time.
almost.
So music industry wise, let's try to do it. Let's try to have a conversation, a real conversation.
Yeah.
So
or even a fake one. Even a fake one for the sake of making it interesting.
okay.
I don't care if it's real or fake. I care that it's interesting to watch and listen to and then stimulating in some way. I'll say things I don't believe if it makes for a stimulating conversation. Don't let the truth stop you from telling a good story.
Yeah.
Right.
Right?
So,
or making a good song or having a good interview.
what is some of the bullshit that has to do with being in the music industry? Like, let me ask you, what is something like, give me some, let's start a conversation to have something to start from. Like,
the
give me a category.
The biggest problem is that everyone is afraid. A lot of up and coming musicians are afraid to do the thing that makes them worth looking at or listening to. If you look at me, you can see I've done it to my own head. I've done the thing that should embarrass me most and yet gets me the most attention. Look at my hair. Look at this.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy.
It's pretty crazy. And I have a lot of people saying like, oh, but it looks so cool. You shouldn't be embarrassed. And I'm like, you are missing the point. You are missing the point. The point is I gauged as to whether it's even worth looking at, as to how embarrassed I was to leave the house looking like this. That's what it means to put on a show. You don't see me showing up in my favorite metallic black t-shirt and blue jeans and show up and perform that way on a stage. And also you don't see me completely unhealthy and overweight either. You see me taking really good care of myself healthy-wise. And you see me getting on stage dressing in a way that's worth watching. That's what makes for a good show. Me being uncomfortable and overworked from trying to, and underfed even sometimes. Like eating only the food I need, not the donuts I want. That's what looks good on a stage. And I know that sucks to say, but it is still the truth. Okay? So, and forgive me, if you want me to dial this back, I'm trying to be as overdramatic as possible because I don't believe in boring interviews, right? Oh, yeah. So I could dial it back anytime and I could be boring if you want. But the reality is, a lot of musicians, you got to tell them not to show up in all black. You know who wears all black on stage? Did you see that video I made?
I did not see that video.
The 10 top 10 do's and don'ts for musicians. The people who wear all black on stage, they're called stagehands. You know why they wear? You know who else wears all black? Is janitors. You know why people wear all black? It's so they won't be seen. So the guy coming to fix the microphone on your kick drum when it gets knocked out of position won't be seen. He's dressed too dark for you to see. So the musicians should then be wearing pink sequins.
Well, I think the musicians should wear whatever the hell they want.
Why do you say that?
I say that because I think that it's a directive of their personality and what they're trying to sell.
So what if that ruins the show because they look like garbage on stage?
Then that's the that might be part of the consumer's fault if you just judge by looks and not by skill.
Yeah.
So how do you fix that? I like this. This is good. That was a good answer.
No, I'm just saying. How do we fix it? I mean, I think half of the problem is with the record labels making you. I do. I don't know because I'm not in the industry, so it's interesting to have somebody that is. But the record labels probably have a tendency to try to dress you or make you look a certain way, especially at certain venues.
What's wrong with that?
It's not you.
It's not, you're.
Why does it have to be you?
Band, well,
who's to say it's not better when it's not you? Who are you to say that? First of all, is it just your opinion, or do you have some reason to think it's better if it's just purely you?
If you don't feel well, you don't act well, in my opinion.
How do you know that? How do you know that?
Because I've had that done to me.
Have you ever been on a stage in front of 15,000 people?
Not 15,000, but
10,000, 5,000, 1,000?
Yes.
Yes.
What's that?
I have.
You
I've
have.
been on stage, but not performing, not in front of that many people. I've come on stage as a radio person and like thrown out T-shirts and tried to engage the crowd with that. And yes, we had to wear our I-100 T-shirts, which served our purpose for that
So is that
event.
I-100 T-shirt you? Does that represent you
At the
and how you
time,
would
it was
normally dress?
representing me, and I was proud of that. So yes, I would say that. So on the flip side, it it coincides. I think it depends on what your act is. You know what I'm saying? So if your act is you coming out there and you've created this music and this is who you are and you have your feelings and emotion all tied up in this, in the
Yeah.
lyrics, in the way that you're playing, then I think that's a great thing for you to be able to dress how you want and to portray whatever it is that you want to portray. Now, if you're with I-100 and you're proud to be with I-100 and you're part of this team and that's what's up, you know, I'm going to love wearing that I-100 shirt and it's great to have that uniform. So it kind of just depends, you know what I mean?
See,
On
your
the
point is actually well taken, and if I'm stepping outside of this debate for a second, you're right. People should just represent themselves, and then they reveal. Here's the reality of it: people do just normally represent, most of the time, represent themselves, and then the reality of it is that they're not that special. That they're representing who they are and who they is, and is it really worth listening to? That's why we have so many musicians who are so unsuccessful because they are just representing themselves. And if those people ever want to go any further, they have to not be themselves anymore. And that's why there's so many musicians who are so broken because they're not being themselves. They're doing what it takes to succeed. You know? That's
Right.
the reality. And that's what I say is 90% of people. 90% of people aren't brilliant, genius level Einsteins of music. 90% of people are average with 100 level, 100 IQ, average IQ. That's why it's called an average, And so that's why most people aren't famous. They're not rich. Also, I mean, I think anybody who's worth looking at is looked at or listened to,
Right.
And so when you put your music out there and you try to put yourself out there as a musician, why am I not getting paid more? Because you're only getting paid as much as you're worth, And if you want to be worth more, you're going to have to go outside of yourself,
Right.
And I think that's my problem when I'm trying to find musicians who they want to get paid. How do I get paid? Murv, can you get me into one of the bands you're in? Sure, I can. But you're going to have to prove not just to me, but to the other musicians that you can learn 300 songs by the end of this week and show up for that gig and be ready to play whatever needs to be played. And you also got to look good because the clients want young and hot. But if you look old and not hot, then they're going to be like, let's hire a different band next time. That's not a record label. We're talking cover bands here. You know what I mean?
I can see that. Because we almost started a band with, your cover band, for example, has Jan in it, and she's an older lady, and she plays bass, and she's a freaking killer bass player, and dude.
Yeah, she is superb when it comes.
Just say that.
Yeah, I love her playing style, but most people have turned her away because of her age.
Right, and I hate that for her because that's some talent that y'all just don't know about because you ain't there to see it. You know what I mean?
What if though she did an intense study into cleaning up her image and she found the right outfit and the right hairstyle and the right makeup that capitalized on whatever she actually does look like? Look at me. I have a weird hairstyle and I'm a weird looking guy, right? Yeah, I'm racially ambiguous. You know what I mean? It was hard for me to find. Look, if I was a 6'2" white guy, I'd have a much easier time. Would have always had a much easier time being a bass player in this rock world, right? But because I'm not, and I'm not black enough to be with the black kids, and I'm not white enough to be a white guy, I can't hide who I am. I'm stuck. I'm like an exposed nerve. I can't hide this. I just have to be this. It sucks. I had no option, So I had to find what worked for me best. Why can't she do that? Now, again, I appreciate this debate you're giving me with you should be able to be who you are. That's a really good point, So I guess if she's just going to be who she is, she's not going to have a chance in hell, right?
Yeah.
And at the point, though, when it comes to her personality, I know you don't know her, but at that, I don't think she could give a care less because she wants to be who she wants, and her success that she has right now, she's like, if people don't accept me for that, well, they can go to hell.
Yeah, up theirs, and I love her personality about that too. But that's why she is.
And it's helped me with myself too, because there's a lot of times I'm self-conscious, and she's like, you shouldn't be. Like,
who cares? We're doing what we need to do in order to entertain the people that are in front of us. And I've never seen her not entertain the people that were in front of her because of the way that she looked. And that's where I'm like, okay, well, on that level, yes, you're playing for 10,000 people, and your record label is like, hey, we want you to look like the goth industrial guys from the new metal scene in the 2000s, and we want you to have this crazy hair. Well, if they came out, it's just like whenever Metallica chopped their hair off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why was that a big
Everybody
deal?
Went
that
stir crazy over
Metallica cut their hair.
See, we're not even talking about the most difficult things to discuss. Like, also, it's the way you sound. A lot of people sing like everyone else, right? Like when they're singing. Some people sing with this. I wish I could think. I always draw a blank when I'm trying to think of an example of a song. But you know how Chris Cornell sings with this Southern accent, right?
It's almost like a Jarl almost.
Huh?
Yeah,
like a Jarl. Like
Chris Cornell, Eddie Vedder, right?
Yeah.
And whereas like Brandon from Incubus, he does not. He distinctly does not sing. He says when he sings the word I, he sings I. He doesn't sing ah, right? He says the words the way he actually speaks. And there's a sincerity in his voice, right? Now, most people don't sing the way they speak. Now, you could argue they're being themselves when they sing, but I would argue they're explicitly masking their voice, not being themselves when they sing because it's too scary to say I instead of ah, right? I would argue they're explicitly being a coward in that moment. And I would say a lot of, let's attack guitar, bass, and drums. Let's use guitar. If you're using the same guitar and the same guitar pedal, we have 1 million guitar pedals, but using the one that sounds like everyone else into the amp that sounds just like everyone else. Sometimes that's the job, okay? But like but you're doing your own band and your own music. Isn't your job to be totally just yourself? Because if you're using the same amp and the same guitar and the same tone, that tone came from 1980 or 1970 or 1960. So not only are you stealing a tone from 50 years ago, which is now outdated.
Hey, Murv, can you hear us?
I can, yeah.
Yeah, we just
it blinked for a second.
It cut out for a second. Sorry about that.
I would say like if you're using the same tone from 50 years ago.
Well, you're not going to have any ebb and flow and change.
What's that?
You're not going to have any change. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't want every song to sound the same. So are you going to sing, am I going to go even flow? No, I'm not going to talk my song. You know what I mean?
Even flow. Why aren't you going to talk your song? Yeah. No, but why not use speech level singing? Why do you have to sound not like a speech level singer? Why don't you just sing the way you talk? What's wrong with that? Isn't that more sincere? Isn't that more you?
If the song has the feeling, like if you're groaning in your song and you feel like death, or you're on heroin and you're fighting addiction and all that jazz, then that could be you in that state. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah, totally.
So it's
absolutely
still you, even though you're croning, but
Lane Staley.
Yeah, but you could possibly also switch it up and have a completely different, vocal range. You know what I'm saying? Like a different style.
Well, why does Chris Cornell have a different accent when he sings? What's up with that? He doesn't talk that way.
It's the same thing with Ozzy, and that's an anomaly to me when it comes to that. And that's something I have thought all the way. Like, I'll mention Ozzy first. Very thick British accent. You can hardly know what he's talking. Sings clear as day, at least to me. Then another one is an old country singer. What's his name? Lyle Lovett. Mm-hmm. I think it's Lyle Lovett. It could be another one, but really bad stutter. Really bad. No, it's not Lyle Lovett. It's another one. But really bad stutter, like shaky all the time. Sings perfect. And I don't know if when you get on stage and you approach that mic, are you in a different comfort level that it doesn't affect you, like mentally wise, and you have a little bit more, because some people, they get on stage, they freeze up and nervous as hell, but some people, they can get on there and it's like a second home to them. And that that's fascinating to me. I don't have a comeback to that, because that is actually something I've thought about for years. So, but that's the only thing I can pinpoint on is, like, why do you change your voice? What if the voice that you're actually talking, like you like regularly speech through, is not the voice you want to use, not the voice what you feel inside?
That's not what you're trying to portray.
Yeah,
I think what you're trying to portray is rarely what the way it's portrayed. I think people are not that good at portraying it how it's in their mind, and they're also not very good at portraying how they actually feel when they're not trying to show how they actually. You try to get them to do things that reflect what you see as them actually being as a person, and they stay. I've been in. There's my vocal booth is right there, in that door. Okay, I've seen people get in there and sit down here and sing in front of me, right over there. There's a chair over there. And sing the song to me, right? And instead of I'm singing the song like this, the way I talk, they go, I'm singing the song like this. And it's like, what the fuck? You're not from Tennessee, bro. And that sounds like every other singer now. You now sound better when you're talking to me, and more unique when you're just talking to me than your actual singing voice just went, doo, you suck now. You sound like everyone else because you're masking your voice, you're hiding. So let me help you come out of your shell. And I go, don't say singing, say singing. Don't say say I. And they go, oh, that feels bad. And I'm like, yeah, I know. It feels uncomfortable. That's the definition of working. Working is uncomfortable. Wake up. This is the music business, not the music fun. Do this for real or get out, you know? And I like to challenge people that way, as you can probably tell. I like it because it forces them to do, like, why aren't they already rich and famous, right? The reason they're not already rich and famous because they're not doing something that would then make them rich and famous. So at least try what I'm suggesting before you just sing like everyone else, you know? They all have a problem with that. And they had the problem with that because it's uncomfortable, because it's so if you're letting discomfort and fear lead your performance, you're an idiot. That's it. You know? Yeah. And there's, it's not that you're an idiot. It's that you're not an artist, you know? And there's a lot of people who we get to hear. I mean, I don't know anyone who wouldn't say the music, 90% of the music on the radio sucks. Everyone says that, right? Yeah. I wish it were just me. I wish it were just me with that opinion, but it's not, you know? And the reality is everyone thinks that. So when I say, I don't want music to be better, you know? Do you want music to sound better? Like I've heard this argument a million times. Pop music nowadays sucks, you know, and you can argue for or against that. You can say, well, the production's more amazing than ever. It sounds like a spaceship. That's awesome, you know. I love that part of it. But when someone says pop music sucks, they're saying it's not sincere, right?
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think whenever we got on this subject, I would say, and I'm not just doing this to agree with you. I know that we're pushing back and stuff, but my honest opinion,
I know.
but my honest opinion is that, you know, I feel like whenever I lost total track, I ain't even gonna lie to you. Real, I'm gonna keep it.
I have real. Like dominated and controlled this conversation. I don't mean to derail you guys from what you normally do. Is there anything you'd rather talk?
No, I love it. No, look, okay, okay, check it out. So Powerman5000 was one of the biggest bands in my background that I would listen to. I heard When Worlds Collide on the Little Nicky soundtrack. It was number 9. I listened to it on repeat on my Discman. Okay, so it was really cool that you were willing to do this. So I'm actually grateful to you right now because I have been talking to him about ways that we could bring a little bit of a shake up to the podcast and make it more engaging and more interesting. And, you know, we added the restream with the chat in the thing so we can actually keep track with the chat.
By the way, thank you, Ron. Mel Tillis.
Yes.
That's who I was referring to.
Yes, Mel Tillis, the country stutter
Yeah.
guy.
Country stutter. Yes.
Yeah, but I have to say thank you because I watch interviews and there is tension and pushback, but a lot of people get in front of their people that they're like, oh, I think they're so cool, and they just hi, like that's like what they turn into to try to. I want them to think I'm cool and that I agree with them about everything, and so I'm actually grateful that this came up because of that. So and I can tell people, even like in front of people in karaoke, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like whenever they get up there, and you were saying they get up there, I can't stand running sound at karaoke sometimes because people will get a microphone and they'll go,
Yeah, they hold it way out here.
yeah, and I'm like, how am I supposed to do that? And then they get further when they hear themselves. You signed up for karaoke to sing and perform.
Yeah.
But you don't want to hear yourself.
They're scared of their own voice.
And I don't.
This ain't a lip syncing battle. This is you actually performing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I'm just kind of like, come on now. And a lot of people are like, well, that's not how the song's done whenever they do it at karaoke. And I'm like, well, that's them singing that song. So it's okay that that's not how it's done.
Yeah.
Like we have a dude named Frankie, and he's a character on his own. And he gets up there. He's like legally blind. He's a mechanic, though, a really good mechanic. He only sings like John Cougar Mellencamp songs, and he does them. He knows every word because he can't read the screen. They're not all correct, though. And I'll have to send you later a voice clip of it. But he gets up there, and he's the happiest, and he uses his own voice, and people love him
because when he gets up there, he is confident about himself when he gets up there. And people around there like that.
Oh yeah, and he's got the biggest smile on his face. He's got like, he's cheesing, you scream for him, and he's like, he's happy to be there. And hey, thanks a lot, guys. Hope you guys have a safe trip home tonight is one of his lines exactly. You know what I mean? So the end of what's that song? Ooh yeah, what's
Jack and Diane?
Hurt So Good.
Oh, Hurt So Good.
Hurt So Good by John Cougar Mellencamp. At the end camp, he goes, ooh yeah, ooh yeah.
Pink Houses.
Yeah. Oh, that was that one?
Yep.
Yeah. So it's just like the way he does it is like his own way, but like I have it nailed down. I'm really good at the imitation stuff. So,
That's awesome.
I hear it. I know exactly how he does it. And whenever I sing songs, it's interesting that you say that and you sing it in your own voice because I think that I just imitate kind of, you know what I mean? Like I don't, but for karaoke, you know what I mean? I've never written my own music and sang my own song. But I think that's interesting that that this came up, and it actually has kind of inspired me to try to step outside my comfort zone a little bit more.
Oh yeah, I love what just happened, like, because I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get this dude back.
Well, like you've heard the expression, "There is no fun without danger," right?
Yeah,
that's true. If everything's safe, it's boring. There is no fun without danger.
Shenanigans.
And maybe on stage the danger exists within your own within yourself while you're performing, and that's enough. That's enough danger for the whole audience to enjoy. The whole audience is watching you. I mean, heaven forbid, as a performer, while you're performing, you have feelings of fear or anxiety. Yeah, right. You're supposed to have feelings while you perform. So you have feelings while you perform so that the whole audience doesn't have to. They're there to watch you have the feelings. And then they go, that's so great. I can relate to that. They can relate because you were feeling something real, Yep. Even if the feeling didn't relate to the song. Like I was just embarrassed to be on stage. Nothing to do with the song, but it's still something, And it's like the real art of performing and creating and writing and dressing yourself is all to do with translating a feeling into a show. That's all it is. And so when your feeling is that same guitar tone or that same singer's voice from 1960, not only are you're stealing an outdated sound, but also an outdated emotion. Like It's a cheap facsimile of that outdated emotion. In fact, it's not even close to real. It's not even close to good. A good impression of it. It's just this your best attempt to copy that thing, and it's like, so it's outdated by dozens of years, and it's not real, and it's okay. Well, that I mean, what else do you need for to have a bad show? You know, someone just I give credit to anyone who gets on stage and tries. You know, as much as I am hard on this particular aspect of musicianship, which affects all of us, right? I give credit to anyone who tries because music's important. It's arguably the most important thing ever. What do we do? What do we do all day? You know, we work. Why do we work? So we could come home and then we have to go shopping. Well, that's a chore. And then you got to do your laundry, and that's a chore. And then what do you do after you eat dinner? You know, what do you do after that? You watch a movie, you watch Netflix, you play a video game, you listen to music, or you plan for a vacation. You go to plan your whole life around something that entertains you, like music, which makes the music and entertainment as a whole the point of life. So I get that music's important. Anyone who gets on stage and tries, I give you full marks for trying. But now, within the art of that, there are those of us who get paid and those of us who don't. And if you want to get paid, don't insult me with your fake attempt, your fake outdated attempt. You know, because I work hard to get paid, and I only get to keep doing it because I do what's necessary to get the money.
Yeah, you know? You work hard to do something that's different, to produce a different product than something that's already been produced 10 times. Why would they pull somebody else on? They have thousands of people that can produce that sound. You know, that's the truth, you know. Richard Dunleavy.
Yeah.
I disagree, music is awful.
Yeah. Hard to disagree, music is awful. That's funny.
Yeah, that is funny because he's like one of the he used to have a studio called Forsyth Productions, and I recorded a cover of What's Up by the Four Non Blondes on my 18th birthday.
Nice.
At his house. So, you know, he had like a music studio and still does, and he repairs stuff for people, and he's super busy doing that, and he's in bands and
Richard
does videography like you.
Richard is awesome in general when it comes to, he is a jack of many trades. Yes. And he's a great luthier too, because I've took many of my guitars down.
Yes. Yeah. So that's quite hilarious coming from him for sure. So I do want to ask, because I am a karaoke host, if you were to do karaoke, what are your like go-to songs?
I do karaoke twice a week.
Don't you do like a rock band karaoke?
Live band karaoke. I have one tonight after this. I'm going directly there after this.
Oh, wow.
And, my gosh.
And that I frequently have to sing, like we'll open up with a test song, you know, so you hear the band members sing something, and then the other band members like check, because we're doing our own sound and stuff. So it's like we're checking, like, is the sound balance? We'll use me as a guinea pig. So typically we'll open up, I'll sing Any Way You Want It by Journey, or Take On Me by Aha, or Are You Gonna Be My Girl? It's funny, like I've learned to really enjoy songs that I didn't previously like, because I find that they work well. Let's go outside of the karaoke for a second. I do a lot of cover bands, you know. I'm doing a couple of those this weekend, and it's like, if I find that Mr. Brightside, which is a song I never particularly liked, you know, wasn't really my thing. It's okay, it's fine, you know. But when we play that song, the place loses their mind, and I go, okay, I see the power of that. That person just tipped $100. I now respect the value of this song, and I'm now seeing I kind of get what they like about it, because I saw the whole place explode. Now it's different for me. Now I like it, you know? And now I'm like, can't wait to the next chance we get to play that song, because I know it's going to blow the roof off. Same thing with like all the small things. You know, I used to think Blink-182 was a cheap rip off of Green Day. You know, and Green Day was a cool band, but it was just, okay, they're cool. They're a punk band. Next band, please, you know. And so Blink-182 comes out, and they're just like Green Day in my mind. And I'm like, this is stupid. But now when we do all the small things, the place loses their mind. So it's like, okay, I get it. That song works better than most Green Day songs, you know. And so it changed my perspective. Let my perspective changes a lot when I see a good crowd reaction, you know.
Oh, for sure. So your go-tos, if you were to walk into a bar and not have to play it, if you were to like just like walk in, they happen to have karaoke, and somebody dares you to sing karaoke, What's your one go-to?
I'd sing Your Love by The Outfield.
That's a good one.
There's a lot of videos online of me singing that song.
Really?
I can sing
haven't
that
seen
song better
one.
than anybody.
Okay,
Okay.
we're gonna have to have a Your Love off, okay?
Your love off.
Oh no, I don't do that song that well, but I used to do it in a cover band also.
And I still do it in a cover band. So.
Yeah. So
If you can
that's
hit
awesome.
that first note, the Josie's on it. If you just nail that, people go, whoa!
Use their damn mind. Yep. And whenever I was in the cover band that I'm talking about, the one that I performed that in, the drummer would switch it up at the end, and instead of like, whenever it goes the lose your love, I don't want to lose, he would actually like double bass. So it'd be like boom, 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 boom. And it would like
Nice.
really amp it up for everybody. And like those little touches that are different from the track, even though you're in a cover band, might really plus it up in a live venue setting. So that's if you can switch up cover songs with something like that, or adding like a ting ting ting, like whenever you're talking about time and all for you or something like that, you know what I mean, like
The cowbell-esque or the
like to make it sound like a ticking
Yeah.
clock or something
yeah,
in the
yeah,
middle
yeah,
of the
okay,
song.
okay, yeah.
But I think that's cool. But as far
You know
as
what? Like I think that's you make a good point with the the drummer adding something that he was feeling. Like I have this quote. Oh my God, there's this video I did. We talked about it a minute ago. The 10 top do's and don'ts for musicians. I did this video and I quoted this from Ice Cube. Ice Cube, he's in an interview. Ice Cube's in an interview, and they're like, "All right, Ice Cube, what do you think is going to be the next big thing in music, right?" And Ice Cube says, "That's a tough question." You're like, "Oh, what a cop out answer, right?"
yeah,
But then he continues, right, and he goes, "It's not what you think is cool that works in music, and it's not what you think people think is cool that's going to work. It's whatever it is you're actually feeling right now. Not yesterday, the day before. That the things change. Your feelings change from day to day. Everyone's feelings change from day to day, and we have more in common feeling wise than we have not. So if you're feeling something right now, that's what's going to work. Now, 9 times out of 10, it's something that is you're feeling, but your thoughts say that's stupid." And that's the boundary I've been talking about this whole time. Cross the boundary into who cares what I think. This is what I feel. If you can connect with what you feel and stay connected to that, like, then you'll keep doing things that feel right, at least to yourself, and most likely to a lot of other people too.
okay,
And as much as I've never sold an album in my life, like so what do I really know? I just have a lot of opinions and not that kind of success, but I'm pretty sure, I think I'm right. That, like, there's, you want to be in a band and you want to be like Foo Fighters. Guess what? Foo Fighters already have that job. They already dress like the Foo Fighters. They already sound like the Foo Fighters. They already look like the Foo Fighters. They already make the albums like the Foo Fighters do. They already perform like the Foo Fighters. If you want to do that, they're not going to give you their job. you know what I mean? So when you get on stage and you're like the Foo Fighters, people are going to be like, I've already seen the Foo Fighters.
Yeah, and there's not
this
a
band's just like the Foo
replacement for
Fighters. They're not that great. Like how good do you have to be like the Foo Fighters, but have people go, but I still really like you,
Yeah, but you're going to live band karaoke tonight. Tomorrow I'm going to karaoke, so we have similar jobs. Are you doing? You said you do that 2 nights a week.
Yeah, Wednesday and Thursday.
Where's that at?
Wednesdays at Jameson's in Santa Monica, like at 10:30 at night, and then Thursdays is Citizen Public Market in Culver City at 8:00.
Ooh.
And they're both really cool. The Jameson's is like a place that seems to, because it's on like close to the beach, in Santa Monica, so it seems to attract a lot of, like, I'm gonna say 20 somethings. And the crazy thing about the 20-somethings is that a lot of them turned 21 over pandemic, but all of them missed a year of their youth, so they're making up for it now. Every night, at least when I play there on the weekends and other bands and stuff, every you always see like say some girl who is drunk, woo, partying, and then she slips and falls, hits her head. You hear a cracking sound. She immediately jumps back up and goes, "I'm okay," and it's like she's not okay. But they're making up for it for sure. And then the Citizens Public Market is really cool because it's like a more of a chill environment than that. It's not a bunch of drunk sloppy people. It's a bunch of people who just want to sing karaoke, and there's still alcohol, but there's seated chairs and tables, and so it's more chill. So we have both the crazy environment and the chill environment.
That sounds exactly like me. I do it at Woodsies on Tuesdays and Sundays, and that's like there's a lot of older people. There's people in their 30s. There's people my age. It's not super busy. It's not a crazy rotation. And then I go to play downtown Pensacola on Thursdays, and it's packed in. Like
Stupid
people
crazy,
are, hugged in like this. You got people.
And it's such a small place for,
Oh my God.
For a karaoke venue too, or a venue.
It's a straight and narrow place.
There's really no rooms over to the side. It's just one
just a shot right there. You
go
got the
straight
bar and a hallway, and then it's a barcade. So it's got like basketball games, like the hoops, like all kinds of pinball machines. Yeah. So everything's video games. There's people climbing up on the arcade games. There's people that have thrown. It's on the second floor. There's a staircase, and there's like a Chase Lounge right there. There was a group of people that picked up the Chase Lounge and threw it over the staircase just because, and then looked dead at the camera like.
Wait. What is a Chase Lounge?
Like one of those chairs. You know what I'm talking about? The fancy like.
Oh, the Chase section of the couch.
Yeah, like it's like a couch, Chase Lounge couch or whatever.
Yeah, like the L-shaped couch.
Yeah, something
the
like
part
that.
That sticks out.
It's the long part. It's the long part of the L-shaped couch.
Yeah.
Yes,
by itself. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like tucked into the corner behind the staircase for people to sit on, I guess. And they decided to pick it up and throw it over the stairs for no damn reason. Thought it was funny, and then dumbasses looked straight into the damn camera.
Wow.
And so, and they forgot to close their tabs, so they had their credit card.
And there was one time we was there. It was super packed, like it usually is, and somebody was already giving you flack there, and we dismissed that. And then I'm sitting here by you before I have to go back for work, and this kid just grabs his chair and starts swinging it. I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, they do that because they get excited. They're like, I'm gonna pick up this chair. And I'm like, there's lights up there.
There's an LED screen right there that projects the lyrics. And
like
you're like close to.
Yeah, and they're just throwing it up in the air. There's people that have even there was some people that went and left, and they decided that they were gonna throw their beer bottle at our neon sign, and it shattered the neon sign. And then like 2 days later, somebody drove by the front door and threw something through the front door, and the whole glass front door right at closing time.
You would think it was a punk
They went down
show.
to lock the door, and it's like, oh, well, we'll lock it, but they can walk right through.
Oh my God.
You would think it was at a punk show, but it's not.
Yeah, it's crazy. And those are the 20-somethings.
Yeah. That sounds like a 20.
Those are the 20-somethings. It's scary in there sometimes. It's a lot of fun, though. It's a lot of fun. Let me just say that if y'all are watching. It's scary in there whenever it gets too wild on those crazy nights anyway.
Oh, yeah. I mean, everybody had fun there. You're just like, wow, I can't believe I've seen that.
It's a lot of fun to people watch, though. It's like, what's your favorite part with running karaoke and doing these venues and things? Is it the people watching? Because that's what it is for me.
Well, I'm in the band, so like I'm appreciating a different aspect of it, which is like,
right.
When that person gets on stage, regardless of their talent or skill level, it's not just them singing by themselves. It's all of us in a band working as a team now.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to see if they can pick up on that, because as soon as they mess up, if they're too drunk to sing the song, we get on the mic and get them on track so that we don't lose our place, Right. And so that the song continues for everybody, right? And then everyone in the audience sees that. They're like, oh, we kind of see that you got our back. And so they kind of know that they get on stage and they think it's their band, which is a cool,
awesome.
Thing to like to have them feel, like you're not just singing karaoke. We're a team. That's how a band is. Unless if a band isn't working together in some way, they're just going through the motions. Then it's not really a band anymore. It's like a band needs to be. So when things kind of go wrong, is when we get to, like, let's say we mess up, someone screws up a part, and you look at the drummer, or he drops a stick, and where are we? Where are we? Then we look at each other and we work together and we get back on track. We're a band. We're working together, right?
Yeah.
If you're not doing any of that, then you're not really a band. You're just going through the motions. You're a jukebox, you know. And we play those songs 300 million times per song, so it's better when things are a little wacky and a little weird, and you know, can't quite hear something right, or something kind of goes wrong. I know musician will say this, but me, but I like a little bit of not tragedy, a little bit of problem, a little bit of calamity, because
difficulties to navigate to try to.
Yeah, it keeps things alive, you know. It keeps us on our toes, and it keeps the show good, and we actually get to work together. I like working with the drummer and looking at him and trying to lock in with his kick drum, you know. I don't like when we know exactly what we're gonna play already and we just go through it, and it's boring for me and probably boring for everyone else, you know. I like a little, you know, a little challenge, a little pushback. I keep saying the same thing. Oh my god, I really do like when things aren't quite right.
Want somebody to fight me right now?
I've literally got the biggest paychecks and the most return business when things were at their most calamitous. You know, when the action was real. That's when people get really excited. You know, like when the action is real. There's a real drama happening. I really wish that as a band we could plan out, like, I'm gonna quit during the show, and then rejoin the band and during the show. I want there to be some drama, something worth watching. You know, like, it's more fun that way. But but you can't get anyone to do that. Like,
well, an example of drama. Let me tell you, I was shocked whenever Avenged Sevenfold came out. Whenever they did their Nightmare tour, I went to Welcome to Rockville, and they had like the rafters, and then the dude fell from the top, and he was like hanging. Like, I was half not sure if that was legit or not.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, that dude just hanged himself, or is that like literally? Okay, music gonna start? You know?
Oh my god, did you ever see Metallica live?
I have not, and I hate that I haven't.
Okay, they're a show you got to see because of all the props the sets they use on stage. The sets keep changing to reflect. Oh, this is the album cover of Master of Puppets, and the set goes into the ground, and this is the album cover of Injustice for All, and it comes out of the ground. And then there's a part when the set comes out and it looks more like a regular stage, and they start to have, like, you hear early in this song, you hear some guitar cutting out, and I think, if I remember correctly, James looks over, what the hell's wrong? Blah blah blah. There's some problems happening, right? And then at some point, the stage starts to fall, and it catches fire. And I don't know if they still do this anymore. The stage catches fire, and they're screaming, "Oh my God! You call 911!" Blah! And there's a guy on fire that runs across the stage, right? And then everything goes dark, and there's some smoke, and then they turn on one light bulb, and then James goes, "We don't need big amps to play," and they just play with a smaller setup on stage for like 3 songs. I don't know if they still do that, but they did it. They used to do that. It was amazing. It's the best thing ever. It's the only part of this show I really remember. You know?
Yeah.
It was awesome.
The theatrical part of it too. You know,
but they're simulating catastrophe. You know, like that's like the greatest show you can possibly have.
Because then you're not sure. It's like you're literally feeling that, like you're
scared.
Yeah, you're in it at that point. You know what I mean? You are involved.
Dangerous. You might have to evacuate. You might be in danger of smoke inhalation or something, you know?
Yeah, you don't know.
The whole building could catch on fire. You might be in trouble now. That's awesome.
Yeah, I can dig that. Yeah.
You gotta have a little theatrics and everything. You know, it's visual too. Honestly, the music's there, but people now they listen with their eyes too because they want to see the awesomeness and not just what's going on. That's one of the reasons they do go to a live show. If not, you could just listen to an album.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So.
Whew. Well, it sounds.
You good?
I'm good. I'm just looking at the time and realizing that you probably have to go to live band karaoke soon, huh?
If I'm being honest, I gotta leave in about 2 hours.
Okay.
Well, but I know you're trying to wrap things up, so whenever you want, I'm not gonna try to hold you.
I mean, to be honest, I'm cool, but but I don't want to make it to where you have. I hate that personally. So like, if I'm about to like do a gig and I have something back up, it gets super stressful, and I don't want to do that to you. You know?
I appreciate it.
But I've really enjoyed talking to you, and you know, this was really interesting for me. I'm actually inspired to do some new things in the stuff that I do.
I got some things working up in here just by listening to and everything. So yeah, I'm excited. I was excited for this one, and it's great talking to you, dude.
It's
Great
super
talking to
cool.
you guys too.
Hey,
So
I'm gonna try to send you some songs that you need to play at those venues, maybe even on break, just to get the crowd going. Because I also DJ on the weekend, and like you were like, you play Mr. Brightside. I'm like, I hate that song, but I love playing it whenever I'm DJing because of the way that the crowd reacts. And you know, you got
yeah,
like My Only Worst
you know
Enemy.
exactly what I mean.
There's like these pocket songs, dude. There's some pocket songs. Like I Want to Dance with Somebody is one of them. You know, the whole crowd goes nuts over that.
Living on a Prayer.
Living on a Prayer. I like to mute the sound system on certain parts, you know, like where people are about to like,
Whoa, we're halfway
you know,
there.
That part, I like mute everything, and then it's the whole crowd going, and then they're like looking at me like, why did you do that to us?
That or the part on Sweet Caroline, the bum bum bums.
Yeah, that one's getting a little less popular though at karaoke. I feel like a little less popular. Not like
they're probably getting Sweet Caroline
older.
out a little bit right now.
Oh my God, can I give you guys a trick that you could do this? I do it during cover band shows or karaoke shows. I like, you know, part of I feel our job, your and my job, is to keep people hyped up and fun and selling and buying alcohol, right? But having fun and wanting to stay there. So like, literally halfway through the night, I'll say like, everyone, if you're excited to be here, who's drinking? 10 people, 10 out of 100 respond, right? Who's having fun? Scream at the top of your lungs. 30 people out of 100 respond. I go, okay, all you guys in the back who think you're excluded when a live band is talking to you, let me explain that isn't the case. Everyone put your hands in the air and scream. No, I get no better response that time, right? And so I go, oh, okay, I see how it is. The people in the back don't want to play. Well, I'm going to now force you to, and you will have learned your lesson after this. And I go, Deo, and they go, Deo, 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 Deo. It works. Everyone in the room, everyone quiets down and responds, right? And then after that's done, I go, now, you see, next time a musician tells you to do something, you ought to just do it the first time, because you got to remember, we can make you. So I don't know if that's like a good point to make at the end, but I like to make it.
It's very, like, we can direct the crowd whenever you're, you know, like, even I'm a DJ, so I don't really, you know, play a band, but you still, as a performer or host or whatever, you have to direct the crowd into doing what you need them to do and interacting and involved. If you don't get on the microphone, or if you're afraid to talk, and you know you're going, they're good, some of them are dancing, you know, you got to get up there and you got to be like, hey guys, we're having a great time over here, you know, you got to be that person that's having that much fun, so they can try to match your
also
energy.
It's like, I know, I understand some people just came to the bar for a drink and they want to have a chill time and they don't want to get all, like, you know, excited, and you know, and I feel that, but I also have no sympathy for that. You're in a band. I'm in a live band. You're in a bar with a live band. You're gonna get a little pushed around a little, you know. And I got no sympathy if you don't want to.
Stage when you walked in, right? That's what I just said. You saw me when you walked in.
Yeah, I mean, I tell in the same breath where I say I feel you. You know that you don't feel like doing all that. Maybe you're tired. Too bad for you. You know, I don't care. You know.
Yeah, for sure. But once again, thank you so much for joining us, and I hope to talk to you soon again. Maybe we can try to line up something in the future with more of a debate aspect to it, or kind of have some topics ahead of time so we can really, you know, push forward with it and kind of get a better idea of even anything that you're interested in. You know, we'd be down to.
You know what I'm interested in? Let's pull up the calendar right now and put it on the calendar.
What? Yes.
Live.
Come on.
Come on. I'm looking for my phone.
That's right. We're doing this during the podcast.
Stand by. I probably have.
That's right. Because we're dangerous, yo.
Oh.
That's right. We're going there. we're making schedules happen during the live podcast.
She's going stir crazy. She's like, "Where's my calendar?"
That's right. Because we keep things real here.
Hey, but it's cool too, because like it's something that you don't normally see. So
yeah,
more of the.
I say if you don't normally do it, let's do it.
Yeah. Oh, she's pulling it up now.
Calendar. Now, when is are you available on Wednesdays? Is there a specific time, or would you like to record this? Do you want it to be live streamed, or do you want it recorded?
I don't care. Whatever's more convenient for you works for me. Um, but Wednesdays work during like preferably during the daytime. Um, Usually Wednesdays are like today for me, where I have a gig at night.
Right.
So anytime after noon, anytime before noon, I'm getting up still because I just got home, at 4 a.m. or 3 a.m. the night before from my gig. I'm not out partying all night. I'm literally working.
You're literally working.
Yeah.
And everybody's like,
But
want to hang out with me and grab lunch? I'm like, I'm not awake to grab lunch with you, bro.
yeah. So typically between noon and 6 is when I'm available on my time, which is Pacific. Sometimes I'll have a gig where I got to drive to San Diego or somewhere, so I won't be available that all day. But like Wednesdays are pretty good for me. If you want to book another Wednesday,
Okay.
I could do next Wednesday. I could do actually any Wednesday in December looks good, to be honest.
Okay, let me check with him because he works during the day, and I don't want to exclude you either.
Look,
Is Wednesday? Are you available on? You're available on
This exact time that we did today works.
This time works. Oh, then we can do that.
Yeah, which is what 6:30 your guys' time, 4:30 my time.
I can't.
We got to watch that though for when the time changes happen and we're either an
yeah.
hour apart or 2 hours apart. Wait, that almost messed me up today. I thought you guys were an hour ahead. Turns out you're 2 hours ahead.
What?
So I could have been an hour late. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, yeah, I need to.
No,
to,
it's so okay.
Get some sort of something to give the actual time for where you're at in the future. Okay.
Pacific Standard Time.
We have availability on the 28th of December, which is my birthday. And I'm down for that. I don't know if that's too far out for you, but I have a gig on the 7th.
No, it's good.
And then we got 14th and 21st booked up. But 28th is my birthday.
Happy birthday coming up.
Thank you.
Hold on, I'm putting it on my calendar now. Podcast, Crystal Hankinson.
That's me.
Literally copying the name from previous calendar day. Putting it on the 28th at... Okay, why won't it paste? What's wrong? Do I have the wrong thing here? Hold on. Okay, so 4:30 my time, 6:30 your time.
Yes.
You guys don't have any what's it called? Daylight savings coming up, do you?
I think we just had daylight savings.
Yeah, well, we just did,
we just did that. So
so it's gonna be good for you.
That is so
it's gonna be good till
weird
spring.
that it doesn't. I didn't know that like daylight savings actually like gapped 2 hours compared to 1 hour.
Yeah, like I literally had a gig in Arizona a few weeks ago where we literally like I looked up and I was like, okay, they're in the same time zone as me, right? Where our time is the same. I looked it up a week in advance. And then a few days later, there was a time jump in on the Pacific on the West Coast where we jumped an hour ahead. No, wait. Fall back? I forget. Spring forward, fall back. So we went back an hour, but they didn't. I'm trying to figure out how this works out because we ended up being an hour late for the gig.
Oh no!
But we didn't know it, and I had done the research. I thought I was being diligent. I'm like, no, we're showing it's on time. We show up. There's a time zone change. I'm like, oh my god, we had daylight savings and they didn't. This was in Parker, Arizona. Well, so it was bad.
did like daylight savings happen like in between you checking or?
So like I think daylight savings was on a Sunday maybe, or a Saturday after the bars closed. So a Sunday at 2 a.m. or something like that, or a Saturday. I forget. I remember I had a gig, and then we got an extra hour at the end of the gig, so that's why I remember. So I would have checked, and then the Arizona gig was like the Wednesday following or something like that, right? So yeah. I checked on like the Tuesday or Wednesday previous, and said, okay, we're good, same time zone. Then on the weekend, the time change happened for me, not for Arizona. And then we drove to the gig, and we're like, we're running late.
It sucks so bad. Yeah. Well, what did they do? Like, what did the venue do in response to that? Like, how did they handle it?
They were very understanding. They, we were on the phone with them. I had also brought them more than they were paying for because I wanted to make an impression. So like they were paying basically to have us as a 3-piece.
Right.
And we have to bring all our gear, and we have to bring our PA, and we have to bring everything, right? So I brought a 4-piece. I brought a female singer along, like a really, really up, like a singer who won on The Voice kind of a level, you know, and because I wanted to blow them out of the water and be like, look, we're the band that you hire from here on out to the end of time, you know, and you pay us more money next time to justify this, right? So I was in constant contact with them, and like she was really understanding. There was this a woman who's just trying to build something out there. Like we weren't late for the show, we were late for sound check. And it would have been our own sound check. So we didn't really damage the show at all. We played on time. So it was just very understanding. It was very, very worked out. There was a lot of crazy miracles that happened that day. Like I'm just going to give you one example, but there was like 6 or 7 of these things that happened that are this crazy. Like we were driving, it was an experiment for us too, to see if we could do it. Like we had the singer has a Tesla. Her name is Louise. She's a sweetheart. Been working with her a long time, or a while now. And we wanted to have the Tesla drag a trailer with our equipment in it, with 4 people in the car, right? So normally the Tesla can make that drive in, you know, on one charge. Like you charge up, you drive, you stop in the middle, you charge again for 20 minutes, and you continue driving. But with the trailer and 4 people in the car, it's a little different. We had to stop every hour or 2, right? So that was already, we were already dragging on time. And then we got to our first stop, and we examined the trailer hitch, and it was loose. It was about to fall off. The screw, we unscrewed the screw with our hand. We're like, uh-oh, we're going to lose this trailer. We're not going to be able to go on.
Stuff, yeah.
And you know how hard it is to find the right size trailer hitch? You know, like you got to go online and search for a week to get the right size for your car. So we're like, all right, we got to
grab one at the store.
we were thinking, now there was a washer missing from the trailer hitch that the singer Louise had forgotten about, or didn't realize that it needed to be there, and that's why it was coming off. So we didn't realize this. We needed a washer. We needed a whole new part, actually. So we took the trailer off, charged the Tesla, and we're like, we got to go now and leave the trailer here for anybody to come and steal. Like, what are we gonna do? Miracle One drives up. The security guy drives up in the parking lot. We're about to go off to the gas station and Starbucks and take a 30-minute break and try to fix this trailer and get a wrench and get, you know. He's like, yeah, I'm security for this parking lot, so your trailer be fine. Just leave it. We're like, oh my God, what a mirror! As we're talking about it, right?
Yeah.
And then the drummer is like, okay, do you know anywhere we can find a replacement trailer hitch? And he pulls out the right size.
What?
Yeah, and he sells it to us for $25.
You know,
It was
that
2 miracles in a row. We had like literally 6 or 7 of these miracles happen all day. I'm not going to go into all the stories, but they were all that level of like, oh my God, we should have not made it, you know?
Yeah, so you feel like you had like a little bit of assistance on the way, probably.
We definitely made a believer in miracles out of me. Things that would not have ever, you know, saved my day. Like,
how is this happening? Just one after the other, man. That's so cool. I love it.
Exceptionally lucky that day. Yeah. including the owner of the club understanding us being late.
Yeah, because sometimes they don't. Sometimes they're like, but I told you this time.
Yeah.
You know, and you're like, I'm sorry, things happen. Yeah. I'm pretty big on being punctual as far as like the gigs go. So most of my venues, you know, are very understanding, kind of like that one is, where if I'm running behind or something, they're like, you're never late, so we know that something's going on if you are. So you know, no big deal, you know. But you know, that's cool that she was understanding, because you know the time zone thing in different areas, you can't really.
I got the impression she's had that problem before with bands.
Really?
Yeah, she basically she kind of took the blame. She's like, I should have told you about that. I'm so sorry. And I'm like, oh no, I should have known it. I'm so sorry. You know, like it was kind of weirdly convenient. You know,
it's just a weird situation. Really, it's just kind of like it's nobody's fault. It's just something that happened. You know, you can't really, things happen. But yeah,
totally.
All right. Well, I'm going to try to switch over here and get our second guest on in a few. And I'm going to let you get ready for, you know, live band karaoke. I hope that you have a great night tonight. And I can't wait to talk to you on my birthday.
Thank you guys for having me. I'll see you in a couple weeks. In 4 weeks.
Sounds good. Yeah. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Let me try to get Chris on here as well. That was a really good interview, I think.
Oh, that was awesome.
And
he's became one of my favorite people to talk to.
Yeah, well, he threw me off for a second, and I'm like,
Oh yeah, he threw me off too.
And I was like, what? And then I was like, okay. Wait,
I'm like, wait,
let
I
me
didn't
shake
know we
this off.
started yet.
Look, half of my issue with some of these art, because I am not used to interviewing the larger artists. We talk to our friends and we talk to people, and we try to be. We're very supportive of the scene, and we want people to go to these shows. So like whenever we do these interviews with these local bands, we're like, oh, they're having a great time, they're doing this, and yes, we feel that, and oh, well, we don't necessarily feel that way about this or that, but we mostly listen to what they have to say to kind of put the spotlight on them. So it was a little bit.
It was nice given it was nice. He almost let us have our own voice there for a second.
Yeah.
Like because I'm not saying this in either different way. Yeah, we're not robots. We're not going through the motions, and that's actually what we talked about.
We do. Yeah. Well, that's literally what's funny is we literally talked about this like yesterday in the car. Like I was like, well, I want our podcast to be, have different segments, and which is why I made that post. I want it to have different segments and to have different things for people to interact with, and I want to, name the metal band logo and which one's real and which one's not real, and all that fun stuff. So let me move this down here real quick. Let me try to get him on. But
if you could hold that thought one, I'm gonna go get me something to drink real quick.
Okay, you can get me something to drink too. I'm just saying.
By the way, Richard Kelly, thank you for chiming in on that
thank
conversation
you so much.
too. I'll be right back.
Let me see. We ready if you are.
Now watch me go in here.
And then you're gonna be late to the next interview again. You're gonna be late again. I don't like it. Well, I am gonna tell y'all, since I have y'all's attention, I'm gonna fix my screen since he's walking away, and I'm gonna show y'all on my screen. Boom. We got that. I'm gonna tell you about some upcoming shows. I'm very excited about this one right here. Our friends in Dark Conaman X Formation and Gone with the Flesh are going to do a show with Soulfly. Holy crap. February 7th. Doors are 6 p.m. That is at Downtown Music Hall in Fort Walton Beach. Just saying. By the way, that Guess the Metal Band name thing was kind of inspired by Body Box over there to the left. If you can't read it, that's that one. All right, we've got them. We've also got another show Saturday, December 3rd. That's going to be a little bit further out from our area, but that's in Niceville. So some of y'all might be in that area as well for Scapegoat, Misled, Special Guest. I'm not sure if Special Guest is the name of the band or if they're just Special Guest, Another cool one that some of our friends are doing, Blindfold Knife Fight and Dread are going to be doing a show with The Convalescents. Check that out there. Another upcoming show. Bam! I'm just going to throw that up because that's Gulfport, Mississippi, as well as that. Because I know we got some viewers that watch later on to do with that. Glorious Flaws. That is actually my friend Shannon's husband's band, I want to say. Yeah, I saw that he was posting. He's back in action, and she's very excited. They're all very excited. That's Glorious Flaws, Nick Flagstar, and his Dirty Mangy Dogs. Backseat Drivers, No Complications. That's at the Handlebar, Friday, December 2nd. And December 14th, we're going to have an interview with Dead Devils. And this looks like Bangering Peter, Dead Devils, Burns and Jane, Cletus Bean are going to be doing a show on the 15th. That's a Thursday, downtown Pensacola. But yeah, we're going to interview the Dead Devils the day before that show. Bangering Peter's also supposed to be coming out with a new album, by the way. I'd like to get them on to pop in and talk about that for a second. If y'all are watching, Summer Rose messaged me about it. And I got some other flyers in. Y'all know that I host karaoke on Tuesdays and Sundays.
Yeah, we just got through talking
and Thursdays. But there's some other people that do it too, and I want to show some love over there because they drop these flyers. Brandy Johnson at the beach, Patty O'Leary's Monday and Tuesday nights. Karaoke with KJ Shea at Whiskey Run, or no, that one's Whiskey Runners. Then we've got Moonshine Saloon karaoke nights on Wednesday, and then Thursdays ladies' night at Whiskey Runners Saloon for karaoke. Just saying. I already told them about the Soulfly show. Also, I think I plugged everybody that I needed to. If you want to do the thing, I think.
Okay. Oh, I do want to say something real quick.
I think Chris is in.
I'll tell him after.
I don't want to add you to the stream if I don't see you. I don't know. Let me try to use this private chat.
I do want to say something while we're doing this, though. And this has something to do with one of the bands that was on your flyers, Pardon the Scars. I just want to say for all the guitar players and metalheads out there
here it is.
that watch YouTube, you know who Trey Xavier is from Gear Gods.
Yeah.
And he actually did, I wouldn't call it a roast, but he reviewed it. He reviewed Cajun Side of Pardon the Scars. And I just want to say I'm very proud of Pardon the Scars for it's a different status itself, you know. And I thought that was completely cool because I watched Trey Xavier on the regular, and then I saw him when that happens. I'm like, oh crap, it's Pardon the Scars. I'm like, oh yeah, it was great. Yeah, it's cool seeing that coming from your hometown. That they go, oh, he picked a hometown band to review. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, that's really cool. I'm excited. I think Chris is on, but I'm not sure if his signal is good or if his video is working. I wonder if his audio is working. So we're going to try to pull him on.
Check your messenger. Maybe he messages you.
Yeah, I forget about the phone. I try to don't mean blank on my end. Let's blank of you on our end.
Blank is you.
I can't type. That's why I don't do this stuff. That's why I hate this phone sometimes.
Tell him to come back in.
Try logging out and reloading? Question mark. But I could try to resend. I mean, I don't be knowing.
Oh, what's up, Preston?
Oh, I didn't see it. Yay, Preston. Yeah, I couldn't read it, is what he said. Oh, you talk about Body Box. I didn't see that at the time because I was showing the screen. But yes, Body Box. Good times. Well, I wonder if we should maybe log out and start a new stream, or
can we
keep that up? Yeah, that's his volume.
Can we kick him and then invite him back?
I think it's his internet connection. Because it's showing us his internet connection.
Well, that's that. If we start and come back,
I'm going to remove you. And then he has to add back. I can't do anything to add him back.
Did you tell him to add back?
I can't. I did.
Oh, he just saw it.
Showing low signal.
He's trying.
I'm sorry.
We'll get you. We'll get you.
We won't get there, I promise. We'll figure it out. If not, we can always try to. Bam, 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 bam. Okay. Well, until then. Oh, howdy. Cool. Let's just not full screen it. There you go. We're still learning this whole mamma jamma.
We're new.
Yeah, we're still new. But if y'all would actually, you know what? I'm going to actually open it up right now while he's trying to come on. If anybody wants to call in and talk about their project or what they've got going on or anything like that, y'all feel free. Just saying.
Yeah,
there's some shows upcoming. Yeah, we can now bring it in. You just let me know. I don't think anybody gonna message us right now because we got a low current viewing, but we get all of these later. It's okay. Oh, look! Don't be sending me no funny things. Oh no! Just in what? I can't do it. All my things are going off here. So bing, 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 bing. All right, no worries there. Kelly said, I'm just sending you this because you're looking at your phone. Hold on. Can I show everybody, Kelly? Let's see in the chat if I'm allowed to show everybody that photo right now. That is me probably looking at my phone. I probably look like. I don't give a shit. That's what I be looking like. I keep it real. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. I want to play Guess the Metal Band Name. Hold on.
Don't forget to, if you're seeing this right now and you enjoy what you're seeing and hearing, please remember to like, follow, and subscribe, because that's only going to help us a lot more.
Okay, here's the thing with this game is that the answers are on some of the pictures, so I have to cut it out. So that there's one that I was playing around with to try to. I will show you. Let me try to put it up on the screen. Y'all tell me what the hell that says. Tell me what it says. Tell me. What does it say?
All you metalheads out there.
Yeah, just take a wild stab at it. I dare you. I'm going to add some other ones in here.
No, can't do that one.
Oh, yeah, that one has the answer on it. There's one. Okay, I got that one loaded in. You got any guesses, Kelly? Do you know what that is? Because I sure as hell don't. I done forgot what it was. Oh, blood incantation, apparently. Blood incantation. Then we've got this one here.
Oh.
Squiggly thorn. They're great. True that, Preston. True that. Oh, I think Chris is coming on. Who's that? People that don't know. What does that say? Just so you know, it's wormhole. Okay, let's go ahead and pull that on. Damn.
Ooh.
Hello. We're trying to get us both on the screen. We'll get there eventually. This happened last. Maximize. I do not want maximize. There we go. Oh, yeah, there we go. Just kidding. Figured out my life. It's okay. How are you today?
Oh, I'm good. How are you doing?
Doing pretty good. So, woo. Can you hear us okay? Is everything good on your end?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you just fine.
Good deal. All right. Well, all right, everybody. This is Chris Hendrix. He is a CBD cultivator and owner of Diego's Dank. Can you tell us a little bit about your product there, sir?
So, if some people aren't aware, where CBD is derived from became federally legal in 2018 and that allowed each state to open up their own programs. So in Florida, we have a program, and that's to cultivate hemp in that program. And what that allows me to do is it allows me to grow this plant that 30 days before harvest, and that 30 thing is really important. Test below 0.3% THC. So 30 days before harvest and delta 9 THC.
Right.
Sections of that. And that's how the 28.
Yeah, sound is cutting out a bit. It's choppy. She's saying.
Okay.
Sorry. We both did it. We both did our little. That's funny as shit. Yeah, he's.
All right. Let's see. You might lose me for a second.
Okay. Well, for those of you tuning in, I actually got this interview from a friend of mine, Noah. He was like, hey, you know, my friend, he's interested in talking about, you know, CBD, and, you know, his business is really, you know, the stuff that he's involved in is really, you know, doing well. And I wanted to be able to share that with y'all, because I was asking him before I even started the podcast if he would be interested in doing a podcast and stuff like that, you know, just kind of get a little pun on the words, you know, but just for informational purposes and stuff like that. Oh, look, there's Noah. There's perfect timing.
Is that better? Can y'all hear me better?
That is way better. It's like day and night.
I figured the headphones might help. Thought there was a microphone.
Yay.
Built in. Yeah, I'm not a very technical. Can't tell. I'm a pretty.
Oh no,
all I
that's
do
totally
is set a
fine.
digital timer.
Right.
So how everything got started. In 2018, passed the 2018 FAR legalized all cannabis products under 0.3%. Now, when we have a 30. So on day 30 of flower, our plants tested, and as long as they're below 3% Delta 9 threshold.
Yeah.
So that on that goal with the CBD stuff is.
I don't mean to cut you off, but we're it's like still, I think it might be like the internet connection chopping it to where it's like cutting out large chunks of what you're saying. So I'm trying to follow, but it's not letting us. Does that make sense? Let's see.
It's
showing that we have an okay connection at this point. So I don't know why the internet's doing that. Like both of us do, according to this. So I'm not sure. Where are you located right now?
So I'm
I think he said Pensacola.
I'm sure he said Pensacola. I was just trying to figure out if he was nearby, because we could be like, hey, drive your ass over here.
probably take
me
30, 45 minutes to do that if that's the only option.
Oh yeah, I was joking. We
mean,
ain't gonna make it do that, but because we could always, you know, set it up or reschedule it again. But let me try to see if there's a way to connect you just vocally on this. I'm not sure, because we just started it. Like maybe it'll be less of a you know what I'm saying? Like the internet won't cut it out or something. It won't have to keep up with the video and the audio is what I'm trying to say. Let me put it that way. Let's see.
Oh, I think it.
Nope, I don't know if he connected or if he just went out of the screen.
No, I did that.
Well,
Did it help at all?
Talk for a second.
Does that sound any better?
It's still getting a little
It's still
choppy.
a little choppy. I'm sorry. Did you want to try to reschedule this so we can hear you and be able to give you a good interview?
Yeah,
let's
reschedule.
We can face.
Oh yeah, we could possibly do it face to face even, and then we can. I can actually talk to. I had talked to the guy at Play at Electric. They have a new karaoke room called Electric Serenade, and whenever that's not booked, I can. You know, I had asked permission if sometime I could use that room to possibly do an interview. So we might be able to set up something in there during the day and go live, and then we won't have internet connection issues, hopefully. I don't know if you got that.
Yeah, I don't know. I can hear you perfectly.
Okay.
It could be the microphone on the device if it's not cutting through.
Yeah, but I think it was doing it before he had the headphones too.
Yeah,
so, I think the headphones.
I'm talking about the device, as in the thing that's producing the stream on his end.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, unfortunately, we're going to go ahead and sign off with you for now, but we will definitely set it up. And if once we sign off from here,
we're gonna
contact you. I'm gonna actually send you my number so we can have a phone conversation and set this up. There we go. Bam. That's my number. As soon as we sign off, shoot me a call. There we go. I'm sorry. I hate that because I really wanted to talk to him.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to learn about CBD stuff.
Oh, we will. And
well, I had so many
apologies
questions
to-
because like Delta 9 and Delta 8, and then they've got like, you know, it's under a certain amount of, you know, this level or percentage of THC or, you know what I'm saying? No, it says your mic does suck even when we play video games. Oh well, another time.
we'll do it soon.
Yeah, we could do it much sooner than that. I hope so. We'll sign off in just a few seconds.
I mean, if
here.
it wasn't so late, I'd been for him like, hey, bring your ass up here.
That's why I was like, where you at right now? Because we'll make it happen. We can make it happen. And then there's not a way to like do like a phone call. D8, D9, THC. Yeah, exactly. See, there's all kinds of things. And I know that Chris would be the perfect guy to answer some questions. And if not, if Noah's in the comments, he's got everybody for sure. All right. Well, that was an awesome interview with Murv Douglas of Powerman5000. And it was great seeing Chris Hendrix, even if it was just for a second.
Right. But no, we will definitely, like right after this podcast, we'll get a hold of you.
Yeah.
And we will get something going on.
Yes, we need to do something. And I will contact, if we talk tonight and we figure out a date that works for everybody, I'll go ahead and shoot a message over to Al from Play.
Exactly.
Yep. All right, y'all. You got any announcements? You have some upcoming shows or anything that you're doing?
I'm trying to think. I think it was on the 10th of...
Yes, it's the 10th. I don't remember where it was at, though, because I had
DNR Lounge.
DNR.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's going to be with Ragdoll.
Yes. And I'd like y'all to come out and, you know, come hang with us, listen to some good music. So.
Whoop, whoop. Some fun music.
Oh, yeah, it's always fun up there.
It's a lot of fun. Look, like, even though, there's a variety. You have, like, a whole variety. You've got, like, the No Doubt. You know, what's the song you do by No Doubt? Sunday morning?
Well, we actually do 2 No Doubt songs.
Yeah, I know. And Holla Back Girl. It wasn't Holla Back Girl, but Holla Back Girl is
Hella Good.
Hella Good. That's the one. That's why I was like, it wasn't that one, but it's got a ring like that. Holla, hella, you know. So Hella Good. You got that one, and then you go to another end of the spectrum. You do stuff like my suggestion. Thank you, Heather, for accepting my suggestion. Firewoman by the Cult.
And we do like You by Candlebox.
Yeah, and
That's
you did
actually
so
one of
good
my
at that.
favorite.
And look, that's one of my favorite ones that you do too, because whenever you were learning it, and then you finally got that.
It was great.
It's exciting.
But then we do like, then we go into other complete section. Like I said, I was talking to Murv, I do Your Love by the Outfield also.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll do like Trick Pony. We'll do that and just a variety. It's fun for everyone.
Yeah, it's fun for everyone. So much fun. Everyone, not the kids though, because it's 21 and up only at DNR.
Everyone that can go to that bar.
Which sometimes you can go to that bar, like during Make-A-Wish in March and those types of things if you're underage, because you can lollygag outside and listen to the bands that are outside during that event. I'm just mentioning it. It's in a couple months.
Yeah.
If y'all didn't know, y'all want to see some live bands, you got some kids you want to introduce to some live bands.
And we'll give you details on that too as soon as we know.
Be the 3rd year we talked about the Make-A-Wish. It'll be
almost been 3 years.
Yeah, and then it'll be 8 years that Kelly has volunteered and been part of Make-A-Wish.
Woo-woo.
Yeah, she's nuts whenever it comes to that. She does it every year, and she is like, I know that she's like one of the right hand people. Like, boom. She was for the Jesse Smith Memorial benefit when we did that.
She knows
I was
what
very
she's doing.
grateful. She do be knowing, and she's coming up. She's helping me with the podcast too, which she's always helped me with the podcast.
Yeah,
of course.
She's making herself more predominant though. Known to.
She was like, I'm tired of sitting on the sidelines. Although, You are very important because you show up to the live streams, and sometimes there's 3 viewers, and it's me, you, and Nick. And we're the ones that are hosting.
You were there for the worst of times. You were there for the best of times.
Yeah. Not that there were that. No, just kidding.
I don't know. The best.
We've actually had some pretty good interviews.
Oh yeah,
We had some pretty cool people on.
Especially when we had Weston on. That was great.
I want to talk to him and see if he wants to do a segment.
Yeah.
Because he would rock. I think he would rock that because he can promote his TikTok channel. Dad wants to know where Crick is. Oh, I'm falling. It's okay. I found Crick. There's Crick. Yes. Oh, Crick is part of the PcolaPodcasters team as well. He is trying to find his best friend, Patrick, a.k.a. DJ PJ. Although he's been going on adventures with me. He's also a DJ. He's a musician, as you can see. And he's on a journey to find his best friend, DJ PJ. And so I've taken him all kinds of places. I've mentioned those places, but I didn't tell y'all about the time that I took Crick to the strip club. I didn't tell you about the time that Crick was like, I got to make some money, so I'm a bartend at the strip club. I didn't tell you about the time he went on the pole either, but we won't go there. We won't tell Patrick that until he's 18.
So anyway, join us now. Join us next time. No.
I need a Chase Lounge. Just don't throw it down the stairs. I got it. Here.
Ow.
Yeah, you don't need it. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for watching PcolaPodcasters. We can't wait for you to tune in again. Our next episode, which may or may not be December 7th.
No, I think it is. I got something in the works.
I have a gig.
Yeah, so
I will not be here.
It's just gonna be me hosting by my lonesome with some other people that may or may not show up. So I don't know yet. I'll let y'all know. In a little bit here. I'm setting everything up. It's in the process as we speak. So
you're not gonna be doing it on your lonesome.
On my lonesome.
Look, Kelly. I'm gonna knock this dude out. He's talking about doing it all the lonesome. How you gonna do a podcast by yourself?
I'm good at talking to myself.
Yeah, but you do that in your head. You don't say it out loud.
As far as you know.
All right, do it. I want to see
I talk to myself. It's when I answer myself. That's the problem.
All right, y'all. We are PcolaPodcasters. It's been an awesome time today, and I look forward to seeing y'all next time. And Kelly said she'll come on with PJ. There you go. Bam.
Yay.
Problem solved. Bye. You want to hit the button?